I'd like to welcome you all to, again, something new we're doing this week. We're taking on the role and leading his second series, Punch-Out Player 1. We have the Punch-Out Classic Reviews #1. And for today, we'll be reviewing 5 games, laying them all out here. So, without further ado, let's dive right in.
Battletoads.
Looking at Battletoads, which is one of the most infamous games on the NES. Noted as for gameplay, it's beat 'em up action with Rash Zitz and Pimple. As you go through the game, the levels are constantly changing styles. As an example of the Turbo Tunnel level in the video we did the other day. Colorful sprites and impressive animations for an NES game. The soundtrack for this game is very energetic, and as you're playing the game, your hits feel powerful. The Pro-Czar battle aren't few starting off with. As mentioned earlier, the game has a lot of variety. Alongside with that, Battletoads has a really well-done co-op mode. And finally, there are lots of memorable characters in this game. There aren't really a lot of cons for this game all alone, but it's extremely difficult and sometimes feel unfair. For a conclusion, Battletoads in frustrating but one of the most memorable games for the NES. Many people consider Mario Bros. 3 to be the best NES game ever created. Move through the world map as you play through levels with tight controls. Also with its abundance of new power-ups with the Super Leaf, Tanuki suit, Frog suit, and the Hammer suit. With Super Mario Bros. 3, its graphics come to be bright with colorful worlds as you go through all of the game, and with the diversity with a huge variety in level design. For this game's soundtrack, it has competition, since most Mario games have really good soundtracks. And even though it has high expectations, Super Mario Bros. 3 does not disappoint in any way, as this game has very iconic songs and very memorable themes. Super Mario Bros. 3 has endless creativity to it. Along with the side of extremely great replay factor, as not just because of the levels, but because of the many secrets this game has. Alongside with the other great pros Super Mario Bros., 3 has really great controls for its time on the NES and even decent controls to this day. Super Mario Bros. 3 doesn't really have a lot of cons, but that just sometimes the game isn't beginner friendly. Even as of today's standards, Super Mario Bros. 3 remains as one of the best platformers ever created. Ninja Gaiden is famous for combining fast action with a surprising cinematic story to it for only being on the NES. Go through the game playing as Ryu Hayabusa, as the game offers features as fast-paced platforming and combat, and playing through the game with very difficult enemy placement through levels. Ninja Gaiden offers very well-made cutscenes between levels and detailed sprites in those cutscenes, and even decent sprites. Through the levels, Ninja Gaiden gives a fantastic original soundtrack and even builds tension through the cutscenes and gameplay. Ninja Gaiden pros aren't small as any good game would have with its great action through levels. As mentioned earlier, Ninja Gaiden has an amazing soundtrack to it and has a really memorable story to the game. Ninja Gaiden does have cons, though, such as extreme difficulty and knockback could be frustrating. Although challenging, Ninja Gaiden is one of the greatest action games for the NES. Zelda 2 is the black sheep of the franchises for its very different gameplay from the others. Zelda 2's gameplay is a mix of side-scrolling combat, RPG leveling system, and exploration mixed with action. The graphics for Zelda 2 is very decent with its large world and detailed enemies. Zelda 2 has a strong soundtrack with a classic Zelda feel. Zelda 2 offers unique gameplay, deep combat system, and rewarding progression. Cons with Zelda 2 result in the game being confusing at some times, and with most of the other games this has high difficulty. Zelda 2 isn't for everyone, but people who stick with this game could potentially find a hidden gem. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out is one of the most beloved sport games on the NES. Play as Little Mac as you go through fighting other people to learn their attack patterns, to know that timing is everything. There is large expressive characters in this game with unique boxer designs. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out has a very catchy soundtrack with a great fighting atmosphere. There's very good addictive gameplay as well as memorable opponents as they return in later games, and it's very easy to learn. This game ends up really short when you master it, and the final fights are really difficult. Punch-Out remains one of the most fun and replayable games on the NES as it's a knockout classic.